pulls up like we do. No one does us like we do. Always go hard with this crew. Welcome to the show, let's make moves. Nothing's gonna stop us, it's not to get rough. Turn the whole room up, it's never enough. Let's go, 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 let's go.
Hello, everyone, and welcome once again to another edition of the Sports Report Podcast. I'm your host, Mr. William D. Morgan. And before we do anything else on this show, someone has a birthday, and we need to wish this person a very happy birthday. This person turns 21 today. Let's bring up Josie. Josie, how are you?
21, and it's my 14th anniversary, 15th, 13th anniversary, and yesterday. But
happy birthday, Josie.
No, it was good. Got to see my kiddo, so it was really
awesome. Good. And let me bring on our other two gentlemen here first. This man has forgotten more baseball than I will ever know. Bring in my man 7-7. What's up?
What's up, man? How you doing tonight?
Doing good, man. I'm doing good. And let's bring in the ultimate LeBron James fan. Let me bring my man Danny in. Dan, what's up?
So much better of an intro than Walmart and trailer parks. Josie, happy birthday, man.
Thank you.
Happy birthday, Josie. 21 years old. And next up, let me bring in my man I've known for a long time. Let me bring my man Gene in. Gene, what's up? What up, Gene?
Hey, what's up, Will? What's up, guys? Did I hear somebody's birthday?
Yes, it's Josie's birthday.
Josie, how old are you?
21. 21. The 14th anniversary of my 21st birthday.
Oh my God.
That is the most burned out 21-year-old I've ever seen.
Daniel the Dick.
My goodness.
Daniel the Dick's at it already.
Oh my.
Already started.
Cruising.
All right, guys, let's go ahead. We got a lot we got to get into tonight. A lot of NBA, a lot of Kevin Durant stuff, Boston stuff, just stuff going around. Some XFL news going down. Whole lot. Let's go ahead and get started with the 7th inning stretch. Let's go. All right, 7. Take it away, my friend.
Hang on.
It is so amazing having the best fucking theme music on the show. I just have to say that from the beginning. Like, seriously, it's so amazing. Okay, Josie, what were you going to say?
Sounds a lot like Jock
Jams. I was going to say, so does 7 still deserve this right after the Blue Jays just put up?
Hey, you can shut the fuck up.
He's going to cut it off with that?
You're not even a Blue Jays fan.
I will shove that hat so far up your ass you can taste the sweat on the inside of the band.
This is one of my favorite too.
That's a nice looking hat, though, for real.
Dude, my mom got this at the stadium in Toronto, and like I've tried to find replicas for it. I can't find any other team.
That's a good hat, though. I like that hat.
That is a pretty legit hat for real.
Yeah, it is.
It weighs like 3 pounds because of that metal plate.
Yeah, that's not surprising. Most importantly, the Hall of Fame inductions were Sunday. Notable names, including, of course, David Ortiz is the only individual got enough votes for the baseball writers ballot. And then in the golden and early days ballots, notable names including Jim Cott, Tony Oliva, and the late, great Buck O'Neil, as well as Minnie Mignoso and 2 others I can't remember off the top of my head. Amazing to have all these individuals recognized. Buck O'Neil should have been in 2006 when he first started. Yeah, this should have happened before he died. Honestly, that was one of the things that pissed me off about this is I'm glad that Buck O'Neil got in, but that dude did so much for baseball in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and even up until he passed away. He was an ambassador for the game, not just for the Negro Leagues. and for it to take this long for him to get recognized, it's ridiculous. But I'm glad that he got in. David Ortiz, of course, DH for Boston. Storied career, of course, the menace of October during his 14 years with Boston. And, it was great to see him, get his recognition. What's up, KW? I am a little disappointed, though, that we did not see Clemens and Bonds get their recognition. The Veterans Committee will fix that. I have no doubt in my mind at some point soon. But both of them should be in the Hall of Fame.
Yep. I agree.
Well, did you hear Pete Rose is going to be showing up at the alumni game for who he played
Phillies.
For the Phillies? I was going to say that.
He didn't play for. Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pete Rose should be recognized as a hitter. I understand there are some things that he's done that are not well received, including some gambling issues. And also I read something recently. Apparently there's a story out that he groomed a teenage girl. Also not cool if true.
Wow.
Yeah. Also not cool if true. Let's clarify.
Yeah.
But what he did on the baseball field as a hitter deserves recognition. And so he should get his day. But I doubt it happens while he's alive. I think that's really what it's going to take, because they'll let him in after he's dead.
Which is a shame.
I get it. I don't agree with it, but I get it. Boston also, this nutsack to my left, right, whatever the hell it is on your screen, mentioned got their asses handed to them by Toronto and Fenway this weekend. With the last game of the Yankees series before the break and the first two games of the 3-game series against the Blue Jays, the Red Sox had a run differential of a -47. That is the worst in a 3-game stretch in baseball since at least 1900. And then they would end up losing again yesterday to the Jays. They had a total combined run differential over that series of -31. Absolutely ridiculous. Like, I don't even know what fuck's saying.
Is there, Seven, is I don't think I probably think you're not the most disappointed fan base in baseball this weekend. Seattle sold out their stadium 3 days in a row to watch their team get swept. 3 days in a row to the Astros this weekend.
After the remarkable run that they had. And I still think the Mariners are still a postseason team. We're going to see them in October this year.
Yeah. Josie, the Boston fan base is definitely the most disappointed this way. I mean, Seattle.
Oh, yeah.
Seattle's not a perennial. They weren't expecting to.
So really, the reason I bring that up is because all the shit Seattle fans were talking before the game.
They haven't had a good win streak like this since the fucking early 2000s. Let them have it. Just leave it alone. But before I go off on this Jays Red Sox series, I'm gonna put this up because I know I'm gonna need it. I'm not a commentator that is for your kids to listen to. Your job is to translate and take out all the times I'm about to say fuck. Okay,
he can be pretty kid friendly.
An inside the park grand fucking slam. Are you kidding me? Are you fucking kidding me? 25 goddamn runs in 5 fucking innings.
Hey, don't you have
Nobody's ever given up 25 fucking runs
better radio.
in 5 goddamn innings. Fucking kidding me.
It's better radio to let him do his thing. He's better radio.
Seriously, how do you fuck up that bad?
I don't know if it's
with
worse.
That level of fucking talent on that roster. How the absolute fucking fuck does that happen? That's my question.
Pipe bomb.
I don't know. I don't know if it's worse. I don't know if it's worse, Seven, that you did get beat like that, or that it isn't really even relevant because they're so far back already. Like that's actually the surprising thing. Like
normally when you see backsliding like this, it's a fucking politician trying to deny sexual assault. Fuck!
The Red Sox haven't been fucked like that since grade school.
Look at Josie,
just rocking the Blue Jays.
Just adding salt to the wound.
Josie,
man.
you keep lipping. I'm gonna speed up that transition. I already told you I'll do it. I will fucking do it. I will find the rustiest goddamn knife I can. I will fucking.
Oh my goodness,
He's
gracious, man.
Seven's gonna beat some gender fluid out of him.
Let's see how much tranny fluid goes into a gender fluid, real quick.
Oh man,
I just this collapse by Boston is absolutely fucking confusing. And it actually, though, it fuels the theory that I have, so I can try to walk myself back down and not have a fucking aneurysm.
Yes. Don't down the show.
Shohei Ohtani. There are rumors going around that Shohei Ohtani is going to be on the market. Partially in the instance where this happens,
out of the Angels, like quick, fast,
like today,
and that's the thing is I can't blame him for not wanting to stick around in that organization, especially not just with the performance as of late and the lack of consistency, also some off the field stuff and some issues in the clubhouse. Shohei's not really the type of guy that wants to be associated with those things, especially with the image that he's trying to maintain. And I think the league supports that simply because you know, he is a great ambassador of the game, a great face of baseball, despite the fact that English is not his first language. Go fuck yourself, Stephen A. Smith.
Yes.
And it's better for the league and ratings of baseball. And I shit you not, this is a true thing. Looking at it from a business side, if Shohei is in a big market team, probably Yankees, Dodgers, Red Sox, all going to be contenders, and in the league kind of in their ear going, look, you need to make this happen.
Shohei and pinstripes gives me a little bit of an erection.
And they have assets to give for him too.
Just like
is there any chance that he ends up in orange?
Nobody gives a fuck about Houston. Nope. Seriously, nope. Houston can go fuck itself right with a trash can lid. Just right there up the ass.
Houston's going to be down there with Alex Bregman. Yeah, they're just going to be chugging along with Alex Bregman and Jeremy Pena. Yay.
Pena just hit his second leadoff.
Oh my gosh. Jeremy Pena. Yay.
It's but I think and I'm going to ruin some people's day here.
His team in the playoffs
there is a I think that the two big players that everybody's talking about right now that are going to be on the trade market, Soto and Shohei, I don't think they move until after the season. And the reason behind it is the asking price for these players is high enough that you're going to have guys that are MLB ready now, probably middle of the road to upper tier type players that are going to be combined in these trades. And if you do that during the season as a team that's a competitor, you are giving up pieces that might be pieces to that pie that you currently have that's finding success right now. Yep. So teams like the Yankees, like Boston, aren't going to be as interested in making a major offer because of that fact. They're not willing to fuck up what they've got until the offseason when they have the ability to backfill the other stuff that they lose in that trade. And so that is why I think we will see them move, but it will be after the season.
7 though, but Boston has way more young pieces that might not be at their potential yet than the Yankees, who everybody's basically like a veteran. Like the Angels don't want any of those Yankees players outside of Judd. I mean, obviously they want some of the Yankees. They want some of the Yankees players, but it's like those aren't future guys.
That the Yankees are gonna put up.
Exactly, and they're not future guys. Like Boston has a lot of future guys, but like at the same time, yeah.
Potentially, and one of the reasons is Boston could. I know a sign and trade is not something that happens in Major League Baseball very often, but Boston could do a sign and trade that includes Xander Bogaerts, because you've got Jeter Downs and Jeter Downs is a young shortstop talent in Boston's roster right now. He's on the 40-man at least, and he is extremely quick and he's very talented. He's young, he's made some mistakes, and it happens.
Yep.
I could see Boston with that kind of incentive leveraging Xander Bogaerts, or I hate to say it, Rafael Devers, but it's possible.
You have to. I would have to have Devers in that deal. There's no way Xander Bogaerts is the pinnacle of that deal to me. There's no way that's happening. Like unless you throw me the farm, Boston has to give me the whole farm, and then
enchilada.
Xander, all the good minor leaguers. Like, give me your whole AAA team, and then give me everybody who plays in AAA, and then all your 5-star guys and Xander Bogaerts, and I'll think about it for Shohei Ohtani. Rafael Devers makes it a little bit more interesting,
and that's the thing, and that's why I say Rafael, because Rafi's. I think Rafi's the better talent, but I don't think Boston wants to get rid of Rafi. I think if they've got to choose, they're gonna give more away to keep Rafi and leverage Xander than they would to lose Rafi.
I was gonna say
I legitimately believe that.
You think Rafi is the better out of him and Xander? Oh, of course.
Yeah.
I thought for a second I thought you meant Shohei. I was like, Jesus. Okay.
No. Go ahead.
Rafael's up. He's up there as an offensive player. I think he's just as good. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, and defensively, obviously, Shohei obviously just adds the whole superstar factor. Like, he is the superstar of superstars. He's the guy. He's the LeBron. He's the fucking whoever.
You get 2 roster
David
positions. You basically get an extra roster slot when you have Shohei Ohtani on your roster. And that's why I think that we're going to see big names move for these players, because Soto, it's more about the production that you're going to get back. And I think that the teams that are going to want to put a comparable offer together that the Nationals are going to want to hear, they don't have to trade him now. Soto has 2 years left on his contract. It's just because Soto wants out. Well, sorry, bro, you're going to have to play the rest of the season. We'll move you after the season.
And he will play to prove that he's still good.
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, and of course, Juan Soto's doing spectacularly, and he's, one of the great young outfielders in the league right now. So
having a down year, actually. He's in like 255. He's got like a 390 on base percentage though. So he's fine.
But he's also still so good that he turned down the biggest deal in baseball history.
Yeah, he knows.
And he will get more.
Look at his numbers for his first 5 years. They're unreal. They're unfucking real.
He's definitely the next, one of the next elite talents in the league. It's hard for me to come up with somebody to compare him to, but he's going to be, he's one of the next elite talents in the league, as long as, barring something unforeseen.
We looked at the sabermetrics on him. He's just left-handed Mike Trout.
That's right. Okay, you're right.
He's left-handed Mike Trout. That's all it is. Like, he's just that good. He sprays the ball everywhere, hits line drives. Like, anybody watch the home run derby? That's why he won, because he can use every part of the field. He wasn't trying to hit home runs. He was just trying to hit line drives everywhere, and they all went out of the park. That's why he won. I mean, that's and you don't have to. He didn't have to force a pull the whole time and pull it to right field or anything. He just hit it normal. He just took batting practice. And like, that's how good that dude is. He can hit it out of any part of the park, anytime, anywhere you want to go. And that's why he won, because he's just multidimensional. He could hit it everywhere.
And go watch the first round of the home run derby. Go watch Soto's first round of the home run derby. Because when he took his break with like just over a minute left in his first round, he only had 9 runs. And he came back and got locked in and just didn't fucking miss. That's what teams are getting. And that's why Soto's going to have such a high asking price. Again, that's why I don't think either one of these guys move before the end of the season.
Fair enough.
All right, now 7. Before we move on to the NBA, I just want to ask you a quick question. Right now, we see the Braves making this huge comeback in the NL. Mets got like a 1.5 game lead. We've seen this before. Can the Braves be a threat?
The Braves are already a threat. And the truth of it is for the Mets, the truth is what's going to beat them is themselves. If they can stay consistent, then we see Atlanta as a wild card team pushing through, which again, Atlanta as a long shot isn't the worst thing in the world. They're already a long shot because it's so hard to repeat when you're a champion. Now, of course, it happens a little more commonly in baseball than in other sports, but it's hard as fuck. And if you're not taking the Braves seriously as an MLB fan, you should be, because they definitely have the ability to repeat. They're there. They're there.
One more question.
Sure.
International draft proposal.
It was never going to happen. And I think, and part of it comes down to money. The players want to make sure that the money pool going into the international draft signings is comparable to the situation now.
Mm-hmm.
We understand there's going to be more rules, but they want to make sure these kids are still getting the money that they would have been getting with the system that we have in place now.
Right.
And the league owners don't want to put that money. They don't want to do that. And so because they're not willing, and I think that's ultimately why the owners are pushing for the international draft is like I've said previously, they're trying to reduce what they're spending in the international markets. But the players know that's not going to happen.
Good enough.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and change up gears over to.
Ooh,
It's time for Dan to get some work.
hypothetical hardwood.
It's time for Dan to get some work in the hardwood.
Hypothetical hardwood.
Let's go ahead and get this party started. All right, Dan, get ready.
I don't know,
All right, Dan,
Seven.
what
My
you got
song
for us?
kind of slaps. It's got a good solid metal rhythm going there.
All our music is changing because I'm tired.
I'm tired of copyright.
Hey, I want Where It's At, Two Turntables and a Microphone by Beck to be my. You know what I'm talking about? Yeah.
All right.
I want the Bender version.
The what?
You've never seen the Futurama where he?
Oh, yes, where he does the song. Yes, Bender. Okay, the Bender version. I got you.
All right, Dan, what you
Hey,
got for us, my friend?
Two kind of hypothetical trades, one of which is actually kind of realistic. The second one we'll talk about is kind of actually could happen realistically, or it actually has already been proposed. The first one, the Lakers, Pacers, and Nets on a 3-team trade, okay? The Lakers are going to get Kyrie Irving and Buddy Hield out of this deal. Hey, look, listen. This actually works. Pacers, Russell Westbrook, and 2 of LA's 29 and 30 first-round picks. So they get 2 first-round picks and Russell Westbrook for Buddy Hield. That's retarded. That's good. That's good, right? That's really good for the Pacers.
Hey guys,
The Nets.
I'll be back for XFL and NFL.
The Nets get THT, LA's 2027 first-round pick, and then 2 second-rounders for Kyrie Irving.
My only thing is, why would you want THT?
And another thing is
a good
they
question.
had a chance to already get Buddy Hield before they got Russell Westbrook.
Yeah.
And the Buddy held included in this for me is immediately a thing like, yeah, I don't think it's going to happen.
Why?
Why?
Buddy,
Why?
I don't think Buddy Hield's.
I'm not saying Buddy Hield is
Buddy
bad,
Hield-
but I don't think that the Lakers
He would have been better with the roster that they started to form when they was going to get him than do it now where they're dumping everything to bring him in. Now it doesn't work.
Right.
What are they dumping though? They're going to dump Westbrook, which they're going to have to do anyway, because that's not going to happen.
Well, when you're talking about bringing Kyrie in with a Buddy Hield, that changes the chemistry of everything. Buddy Hield without Kyrie and this other roster worked a lot better because you get more out of Buddy Hield. Buddy Hield with Kyrie, it changes things because the ball domination that Kyrie needs to play the game. Buddy Hield may not be able to touch the ball as much as he would like to, so it doesn't help him at all.
He's a spot shooter though.
But it still touches. But it still touches on. But it still touches.
He needs to be.
But it still touches on that team because Kyrie's gonna want his. AD is gonna want his.
Right.
LeBron's gonna step in and play at least 34 minutes.
Well,
I mean, where are you gonna put Buddy Hield? Where's his second in rotation?
Well, the thing is LeBron makes everybody a spot shooter.
Well, but here's the thing. The other thing, and to the point of this happening, because this is just something that I just thought of. Do you really think LA wants to have LeBron in 34 minutes a game this year? No. 30.
No matter how you try to manage his minutes, every time they start the season, they always tell him we're gonna manage his minutes. LeBron plays what he wants.
He
does what he wants.
He ends up going 40 every year, and he's going to go 40. He'll go 38 this year a game, and it's because it's his call.
And it's his call. They tried to manage his minutes a couple years there, where they're giving 2 minutes, 3 minutes of rest after the first, during the first quarter. Then he back in the second, third quarter. He doesn't listen, and
he knows
they need him. They need him.
Right. He knows his own limits, though. Like, who knows his body better than him? I mean, at this point,
Right.
he's not going to push him. He's not going to push himself.
Right.
Well, I don't think he necessarily knows his own limits. I think it's LeBron James, and what we found out here in the last couple of years is at one point you could win with LeBron on the floor, and now if he's on the floor, you can still lose big. They've lost some really big games with LeBron on the floor, so that tells me it's not a thing of where he understands that he may need to sit down. It's just he does what the hell he wants. And, there's nobody in the league that can tell LeBron what to do.
You can't. But he clearly isn't 2016 carry the whole team LeBron James. Like, that's not going to happen.
Well,
it's not going to happen.
It's not going to happen because you don't need it to happen. You don't need LeBron to score 40 a night for them to win. You just need LeBron to be big in the big moments. And if that could happen, but LeBron, no knock on him. I mean, in his mind and what he's done in his career, he feels like, he could be on the floor as much as needed. But I think you pull back, it's almost like the Baker Mayfield. Even though I don't really care for the guy, if you keep his throws to 16 to 17 a game and you run the ball, the rest of that, it balances him out. He makes better throws. But when you let him sling it around too much, then it gets antsy and he starts, being
Gene, let me you're just inching your way already into my dick of the week. Did you just compare LeBron James to Baker Mayfield?
No, I didn't compare LeBron to Baker. I compared the situation. And what I mean by managing his minutes, I think LeBron is more effective with less minutes and less points than he is by being on the floor for 40 minutes and then giving a team 35, 8 and 8. He don't need to do all that with these other pieces. That's why when they build a roster, they build it. They get shooters, they get utility guys, they get guys who just play in the box. But LeBron, him, AD, and Durant and Westbrook all play 18 feet in, is what I'm saying. So when you're talking about ball possession, all 3 or 4 of those guys can run the ball, or it can bring the ball up, and they can play outside the 3-point line and inside the 3-point line. They all play 18 feet in, so it makes it tough. LeBron don't need to do that. He needs to let his other players just do their role.
Right. But, I mean, hypothetically, if you have AD, Buddy Hield, LeBron, and AD, Buddy Hield, LeBron, and Kyrie, and then you'll start somebody random. It'll be a random.
Has LeBron had more success with 4 all-stars or 4 potentially good players, or has he had more success with him and just one other player and then everybody's role players? I think you've seen he's had success with just him and one other person and role players versus trying to build this whole roster up, this starting 5. It just doesn't work.
I see what you're saying. His formula, though, has been him, another guy who's also a superstar, right? And then he has the guy who
has the rebounder,
was a superstar, but still plays within a role player. He's
got a guy who's going to get bored. He's got a guy who's going to bring the ball up. He's got a guy that could play. LeBron's always had problems. Kyrie had real big problems playing off the ball. He doesn't play off the ball very well. He has to have the ball to create shots. So, but when you give him the ball, he commands the defense. Here comes a double team, so it leaves somebody open. So, because he's that dangerous of an offensive player. So at the end of the day, you try not to do too much with that roster. If you do less with that roster in LA, I think you get a better product. That's just me personally. Because you got LeBron, he's going to give you what he's going to give you.
I understand. And he turns 38 years old this year. I would like it if it's backed up regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because obviously he can't go 42 a game and just this isn't going to be able to, he's not going to be able to grind through 38 years old and just keep, you know what I'm saying? Like at some point it does have to break down. Like, I don't think he even broke down that much last year, but like there's a clear loss of athleticism. There is. I mean,
I don't think listen, he's in 2 more years.
He's still a freak.
He'll still be 15-4-4.
I think even more than that, dude. I mean, I'd go like 18-8-8.
Yeah, whatever.
When he's out there with his, I always joke about it. Like he'll have a gray beard and just be like, just be backing dudes down and just dishing. Like it'll be like Brad Miller. You remember Brad Miller? That's really what it'll be.
Remember
it'll be like just shooting threes, like hitting like 40% threes, and then just dishing, like having 8 assists, 8 rebounds. Just that, like when he's like 43, I think. Seriously, like when he's old, he'll still be able to do it at a high level. The second one, moving on. The second one was a trade between. Damn it. Give me a second. Sorry, we got a lot of dead air here.
Do you think?
Tell a joke. Tell a joke.
Oh man. Hey, Gene, real quick while he's doing that. Let me ask you this. Okay. What's your thoughts on Zach LaVine? Maybe I'm reading it wrong. I just don't deem him worth all that money, man.
I think Zach LaVine is untapped potential.
I think he's a good player, but
I think he doesn't have a real solid skill set, but he's ultra athletic.
Yeah,
ultra athletic.
Yeah,
he's ultra athletic. He plays above the rim. I think you see with him, he doesn't play within the system.
Right.
And I think they're having a hard time trying to get him to play within the system. I think you need him on the floor for energy purposes or whatever. But I don't see a lot of basketball IQ. I'm gonna just be honest with you. Yeah. I see a lot of just physical talent.
That's all I see. That's all I see.
And that's what they're paying for. He doesn't. I mean, he was hurt a couple times, but he's been okay. I think he won a slam dunk contest a few years back.
He's won 3.
Yeah,
he's won 3. Yeah,
he is hands down the greatest dunker that has ever lived. If you watch this, yes, watch those slam dunk contests.
I try not to get on here and debate, but
watch those slam dunk.
Listen,
he said the greatest slam dunker.
Do you
ever.
think?
He's the
hands down. You're talking about in the history. Listen. I'm glad 7 gone.
I'm not talking in game.
I'm gonna ride him too. But listen,
I'm not talking in game.
Where? No, I'm not talking in game either. I'm talking about slam dunk contest. So
really?
You mean to tell me that Michael Jordan once again gets snubbed? And are you Kenny Skywalker?
Hold on. How are we gonna sit here talking about he's the greatest slam dunker ever? Don't Vince Carter have a say in? Don't Vince Carter have a say in this?
You guys, holy shit! Okay, Michael Jordan's most famous dunk of all time is what? The free throw line, right? Yeah. Zach LaVine did a foul line between the fucking legs dunk. He went between his legs from behind the spot.
So you telling me on this show that Zach LaVine is a better dunker than Vince Carter?
Yes,
you telling 100%. Me that? Oh hell no! Hell no!
I didn't want to listen. I don't want to.
How you gonna disrespect Vince Carter like that?
You two are the only 2 individuals at this point right now that would actually disagree with me, because apparently you haven't seen the dunk contest.
Can I say Dominique?
Have you? Oh my god, dude! 2018 with Aaron Gordon and Zach LaVine was the craziest dunk contest that has ever existed. Like I went back and watched all that bullshit.
Ever.
86. That 86 slam dunk contest where all Dominique Wilkins did was
I'm not calling him the greatest dunker ever.
Do you remember when Gerald Green? Do you remember when Gerald Green blew the candle?
I know. That's a great one. That's a great one, dude. I'm
not gonna let you sit here and disrespect Vince like that.
And I can't let you spit. I wanna listen. I wanna agree with you, but I can't. And the only reason why I can't, Daniel, and it's okay that we don't agree. We gotta learn to agree to disagree.
That's what we're gonna do.
Please don't put him in the all-time greatest dunker list.
He's
Don't
not.
do that. He's not.
If you guys are talking in game, then he's not.
Go back to the
If you guys are talking in dunk
Olympics
contest,
Vince played.
In dunk contest, if you're talking only in dunk contest, Zach LaVine is the greatest dunker that has ever lived.
Woo!
Go back and watch, bro. He's won 3 slam dunk contests.
I can't
He has
say
the
that.
nastiest portfolio of dunks
I'll say him and Aaron Gordon was probably the best finals of a dunk contest.
Yeah, I'll say that.
I'll give you that.
Yeah, I'll give you
But
that. Yeah.
I love Aaron Gordon a whole lot, but I just can't say that Zach LaVine. He's ultra athletic. I've given him credit. Ultra athletic. He doesn't really think the game. In a slam dunk contest, it doesn't take much thought process. It's just somebody need to choreograph the dunk. I get that. With his athletic ability, it does make it seem like he is more than what he is.
Yep.
He's a very athletic guy. But
graceful as well.
But he's not a very good shooter. He's not a very good
we're
passer.
not talking about that. We're not
But-
talking about that.
but-
We're talking about just
dunk.
him dunking the basketball. We're talking about him dunking.
But dunking, I can't put him over Vince.
Oh my God.
Come on, Seven. Get in here.
Olympics. He
Get
dunked over a
in here,
dude
Seven.
in the Olympics.
I love Vince Carter, bro. That 2001 slam dunk contest that he was
Vince,
in
man.
was
I can't.
revolutionary to slam dunking. Like it was like he took it to a whole
Hell.
different level. He took it to a whole different level. He came out first and did the reverse windmill 360, graceful and beautiful. And I know exactly what you're saying, okay?
Yeah.
Zach LaVine, dude, has done that dunk as a joke. I'm not joking.
Spud Webb did a reverse. The guy is 5'5".
Who cares?
Then
he shouldn't be in a dunk contest. It doesn't. Okay, so great. It's really impressive, Gene, that he could dunk it at 5'5".
Yeah.
He was 5'8", by the way. He was 5'8", but he could dunk it at 5'8". I could dunk the basketball at 5'10". In high school, I could dunk it. I'm 5'10", and I'm white. And literally,
we're not talking about a one-step dunk or nothing like that. We're talking about.
He did say Spud Webb, Josie. Yeah, he did.
Listen, Spud Webb. Yeah, did he really? Yeah, I said Spud Webb because listen, when you got a 5'8" guy doing creative dunks, I ain't talking about just a one hand jump. No, he got really creative. You got to give him credit for that. But do you really put him ahead of? The ultimate question is, do you put him ahead of Vince Carter?
I can't, man.
Zach LaVine we're talking just slam dunk contest. In game, Vince has levels on. I would never say that Zach LaVine is a better in-game dunker than Vince Carter.
But basically, that's what you're saying when you're saying he's
I'm not.
You're saying he's the all-time greatest dunker, dude.
He's the all-time greatest dunker in slam dunk contest.
He said that.
He said that at the beginning.
He fucking said that.
You see how 5'7"? You see how 5'7" is disassociated itself with Dan on that?
No, because I don't want Dan. I don't want Dan to have an aneurysm.
He agreed. He
No,
said,
I've been listening the whole time. I never took off my headphones. They're wireless.
yes, you did. You was putting your headphones in when you came back in. Stop
No, I
lying.
wasn't.
But the
Listen,
whole point
Will,
is,
he said that Zach LaVine was the greatest dunker of all time. That's exactly what he said.
Slam dunk
In
contest.
slam dunk
In a
contest,
slam dunk
he said
contest,
that.
yes.
I can't say it.
So
That's
he's better than
that's a
Vince
fact.
Carter?
I can't say it.
That's a fact at this point. Yes.
He's better than Vince Carter?
Vince had one great slam dunk contest. Zach LaVine's had 3 that were just as impressive.
Get out of
I
here.
understand
I would
that
put
Vince
Vince
Carter
Carter ahead of Jordan
as a dunker.
Man.
as a dunker in the dunk contest.
Overall,
I would
as
put
a
Vince
dunker,
Carter. Yeah.
Vince Carter, Vince Carter's
You
greatest dunker of all
even
time.
putting Zach ahead of, you putting Zach ahead of Dominique?
Only person I
Yes.
put ahead of Michael Jordan is Julius Erving. And
Tom,
know that.
oh my God, dude. Go back and watch those fucking slam dunk contests from 1986.
I watched
They
every
are
one of them.
garbage. They
Listen,
are garbage. They
listen,
go up and just like, rock
the slam
cradle.
dunk contest is really should be phased out. It should be phased out of All-Star Weekend because it really doesn't. I mean, what
It don't
what
have the
haven't-
same meaning.
what
It doesn't
haven't
have
we
the same
seen?
meaning.
What haven't we
Zach
seen?
LaVine's not in it anymore.
No, what haven't we seen?
We saw something new
It's
with
not
Zach
Zach
LaVine every
LaVine.
single time.
No, the problem with the slam dunk contest is none of the superstars want to participate in it. So we seeing these off-brand guys
They're not
in
the
there.
best dunkers because they're not the best
No,
dunkers
the
anymore.
best slam dunk contest was with Michael Jordan. All the stars were the top guys in the league were in the slam dunk contest.
No.
These
Why
guys
does it-
aren't in the league no more.
Why does it matter?
I was running back in here to have your back, Dick. But on that note right there, I kind of agree with him.
What?
No, him is Gene.
The
Him is
stars.
Gene.
They either need to do away with it or figure out a way to get the stars back in it.
But if the product this last year was garbage, all right, but
It's been garbage
not.
for about 8 years
I
now.
feel like when
Oh
they
my
started-
God! The Aaron Gordon Zach LaVine one was garbage. That's the greatest dunk contest that ever
I
happened.
will
I
say,
was
say
3 years
that's the
ago.
last.
Blake
That's
Griffin.
the last finals. That's the last
years ago.
finals of the slam dunk contest that were great.
The whole
But
thing is
the whole participants said it was trash, and the whole they need to transition it out. It doesn't mean anything no more.
The
That
point of the
neat-
slam dunk contest
I don't
was to
see
be
how
like a
you
shock
put.
and awe.
So you gonna put Zach LaVine. You gonna put Zach LaVine. I even go.
ahead
Let me
of-
ask you this. Let me ask you this, Gene. Zach LaVine or Dwight Howard?
in dunk
What,
contest.
in the slam dunk contest,
Uh huh.
Zach LaVine.
I love Dwight Howard, but he's a tall guy.
What is Dwight Howard is what is he gonna do? Whoop.
6'10"?
That-
Yeah, he's
It's nothing.
Yeah,
There's
he's
nothing
a big
creative
boy.
there.
He would-
So
yeah,
it'll
that's
look different.
great.
It'll look different on. It'll look
Let's get
different.
it. But Will,
he's not
we
graceful.
can. But Will, I know where you're going with that comparison, though. I really
Mhm.
do. Because how tall is Zach LaVine?
6'6".
He about 6'6", 6'7".
He's about 6'6".
Which is what I was gonna say. That's about the sweet spot
It is.
where a dunk looks
Looks
amazing.
Yes.
Absolutely.
and-
Yes,
and
Josie.
doesn't
Yes.
get to the point where you're like talking
I
with
mean,
Spud
hell.
Webb, where it's like an
I
inevitable.
mean, hell.
Yes.
with this
I
person.
mean-
Absolutely agree with that, Josie.
We're in that sweet spot
Yes.
because I was
Yes.
thinking, the moment you said like Dwight Howard 6'10", my mind went to Yao. Yao dunking was not an impressive thing. It was actually really fucking ugly.
It was very awkward.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
it
was
was
stupid.
awkward. It was.
But Dwight would center his dunks around the fact that he was that big, so he
And
would
I
just do
mean-
some impressive shit, like he did the sticker thing where he had the sticker on
Yep,
his hand, and he hit the
That was
sticker really
awesome.
high on the backboard and shit, and then he dunked on the 12-foot rim. He brought the
And I
12
was
foot rim
gonna.
out
I
and
mean,
shit. That was
I just can't. I just
he's
can't
a
put
two-time
Zach.
champion, if I'm
I
not
just
wrong,
can't.
right?
3 times.
Yeah.
I believe so.
Three
I
times.
just. I
Zach
twice,
LaVine
twice.
is.
Zach LaVine's 3 times. I
I'm
just
gonna
can't
see
put him.
Howard.
I just can't put him ahead of Vince, man. I just can't. That's just. Or Dominique, for that matter.
Listen, Will, I totally understand why. Like,
Or
dude,
Julius Erving.
Vince revolutionized what
Julius
dudes were gonna
Irving,
do.
come on.
No, dude. The actual dunks. If you look at the actual dunks, there's not even a comparison.
Nobody did the dunk that Julius Erving did before him. Michael Jordan followed it behind him.
It doesn't
listen,
matter.
he played
Because
in
if
an
somebody
era-
does it better, then they're better at it.
Here's the thing. There was not a 3-point line in the goddamn NBA.
What does that have to do with a slam dunk
Listen.
contest?
It has a lot to do with everything. It has its measurements at that point. He stepped way above the free throw line extended and dunked it. Michael Jordan jumped right before the free throw line. So that was the
Michael
dunk
Jordan's-
that Julius Erving created.
See,
You gotta
this
give
is
you gotta give people credit.
Gene,
I
Gene?
can't understand why you don't want to give these guys their
Gene,
credit.
this is the myth thing that I'm talking about, where you think that these guys are fairy tales. Go back and watch the Michael Jordan
It's a
free
Nick
throw line
Wright
dunk.
way
I
of
don't have
thinking.
His
listen,
whole
It's a-
foot,
it's a
his
Nick
whole
Wright way
foot
of
is
thinking.
above. His whole
Hey,
foot
Daniel.
is in front of the free throw
It's a
line.
Nick
And then-
Wright
Hey,
way
Daniel.
of thinking.
And then
Here's the thing. What made Michael Jordan's dunk from the free throw line a little bit different because of his air time. And it wasn't
Hang
just
time.
straight it wasn't just vertical. He kind of got on the tilt, and that was very difficult to do at that time. That's what makes it a big difference. Vince Carter, listen, he was super creative. Vince Carter was super creative. He was a stud when it came to dunking. Who else you gonna compare to him besides maybe Shaq?
how is Shaquille O'Neal? I'm not even going to touch that one. The thing with Zach LaVine did the Michael Jordan free throw line dunk. He jumped from behind where Michael did and went between his legs, and then he did it behind his back.
I never said that he wasn't ultra. I said he's ultra athletic.
Those are better dunks, Gene.
They're not better.
You go
dunks.
between your legs from the free throw line.
Not better than Vince.
Have you seen Kenny Skywalker?
Ooh.
What the fuck?
Have you seen Kenny Sky? Go look at Kenny Skywalker.
Ooh, that's
He
a
won
good
the
one.
slam dunk contest.
That's a good one. That's a good one.
And he was big and unorthodox.
Yeah, he was.
And
was
he took it through
clumsy
his
as
legs.
hell.
He took it through his legs. It doesn't matter.
Aaron Gordon.
You get style points. Some people just get style points, and I think Zach LaVine gets a ton of style points in this conversation.
That makes you a better dunker.
Listen,
That's the point of the dunk contest.
Listen, I understand style points. He's athletic, but do you put a Michael Jordan with the shoe? The Bulls are the most glamorous team in the world. You can't put that. You can't put nothing over that.
Gene,
Yes, you can.
They just want better dunks, dude. They're
No,
just better dunks.
We want no.
It's a
Okay,
dunk contest.
okay. So do it like this then. Let's reel it back.
Dang.
Let's reel it back. Who were the top stars in the league during the Zach LaVine era?
It doesn't matter.
LeBron.
It's dunks.
Who
I'll
was the
answer the
top star?
questions.
LeBron wasn't there.
Why does that matter?
LeBron could have been there. He's dunking against nobodies.
You
But
just
Aaron
said
Gordon.
10 minutes ago, you just said
When
that
you got
think
Dominique Wilkins,
Aaron
Bud Webb,
Gordon-
Michael Jordan, all these guys in the same dunk contest, come on, man. You can't compare that.
you just said 10 minutes ago that you think Aaron Gordon, Zach LaVine was the greatest slam dunk finals of all time,
Listen,
right?
I know
Those aren't stars.
Listen what I'm saying. Listen. That was the greatest final of a slam dunk in a very long time. What I'm telling you is when you look at the roster, when you look at the participants compared to when Michael Jordan and those guys, those were all your top guys in the league competing in the slam dunk contest. These other guys, they're not even a couple of them wasn't even starters.
So you would rather have the four best guys in the league
Yes,
go out and do
competitive.
go out and do shitty tomahawks than Zach LaVine do graceful 360s from the free throw line. That's what you're telling me right now. That's what you'd rather see.
And see, and as a Bulls fan, that makes me worried because both of you guys have said the only things that LaVine can do is dunk.
The guy can shoot.
Him all, and we just paid him
can-
all that money.
It's not the only thing he can do. It's not the only thing he can do.
He's
Will.
not that great of a 3-point shooter. And
He
he's not
doesn't
that
have
great
a high
of a
skill set.
player.
He's a good scorer.
He doesn't have a high skill set.
No, he doesn't. He doesn't.
Trust
He's
trust
not
me.
number one.
We watch. I
Personally-
watch. Listen, I watch enough.
He's a good number two.
I got friends in it.
He's
Listen,
number two.
I'm telling you, he is. It's all about the moment with certain teams. It's all about a need for certain teams. You know what I mean? He's just a hot guy to be on that team to get that contract.
Yes.
Does he deserve it? If we look at other 6'6" guys around the league that's getting paid less, that's got more production, then no.
He
but
beats
for
he beats the alternative for Chicago.
But for the Chicago Bulls, when you free up the money, it makes a ton of sense. Keep the
Absolutely.
guy around. Yeah.
I wouldn't have paid him. That's just
I agree.
me. I get why they did it, but I wouldn't have done
It's
it.
the
That's just
moment.
me.
It's the moment. It's politics.
And Gene, at that point, what's your alternative? Like, who are you just gonna grab and fill in? You know what I'm saying? Like,
I'm with you on that.
They had to do
I
it.
agree.
They had
I
to do
agree
it.
with
And
you
I
on
get
that.
that.
Yep,
I
agree.
get that. I just ain't happy to. I'm just not
Definitely
happy
agree
about
with
it.
you on that.
It's almost
I'm
like
just not happy
quarterback.
about it.
It's almost like quarterbacks in the NFL. Like they pay these guys a lot because what is their alternative? Like to not have a quarterback? I mean, that's basically what it is. Like
Absolutely.
Kyler Murray in Arizona is the same thing as it's not the same thing, but like it's kind of like Zach LaVine in Chicago. It's kind of just a necessity that you need to fill. Like it's just something you need to fill.
You got to do it.
You have to because what's your alternative? Your alternative is not good.
You got to.
40
I ain't happy about it, but you got to.
46 million a year.
I ain't happy about.
Will be a bargain in a couple of years.
I'm not happy having Zach back at that amount of money, but it is what it is. Dan, real quick, what's your other trade scenario?
Real quick, this one actually has been proposed. It's a 3-way deal between Oklahoma City, Boston, and Utah. Okay, so Oklahoma City would the main piece of the deal would be Oklahoma City gets Jaylen Brown, Boston gets Donovan Mitchell and Derek Favors, and Utah gets Josh Giddey, Grant Williams, Darius Baisley, Ty Jerome, and 3 first-round picks. Jesus. I know that's a lot to follow on the Utah side, but actually Utah's rebuilding. Utah's rebuilding. So that's good for Utah. That's a good deal.
Exactly.
Josh Giddey's a good player. I don't. You know,
that's
for
a
people who aren't as informed.
And once them contracts over, they all gone.
Right.
Who want to play for Utah? Not me.
Unless those 3 first-round picks pan out. I mean, yeah, but like that's what rebuilding is, though. It's just guessing, just just stacking and
is.
guessing. I mean,
It is.
So Oklahoma City kind of gets. I'm not doing Josh Gideon 3 first-round picks for Jaylen Brown. Honestly,
Nope. I wouldn't either.
I don't know.
I would, but you have to understand too. They still, even if they give up 3 first-round draft picks, they still got like what 13 left.
Yeah, they got a lot.
Yeah,
So-
they got a lot. They got a
They got
ton.
19 picks, don't they?
Well, some of it got knocked back in the draft,
Yeah,
but
they'll get on the back end.
yeah, they'll get it on the back end. Yeah,
They have a lot of
Yeah.
protected. They have a lot of protected picks and stuff too. So it's like
Mhm.
so Oklahoma City has the fodder as far as like if you're rebuilding
yeah, Sam,
and you got a star, we'll give you
and that's why
some-
LeBron said Sam Presti's the best general manager in basketball.
Who is?
Sam Presti.
No, the best general manager of basketball is with the Cavs.
Well, that's what LeBron says, not me. That's what LeBron said.
Yeah.
David
That's Sam
Griffin.
Presti. That's it.
Yeah.
That,
Nah,
yeah.
David Griffin's not there no more.
Yeah.
David Griffin's
Oh.
with the Pelicans.
Oh, Pelicans. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. But Sam Presti, he said Sam Presti was the best GM in basketball
Mm.
because he stopped all those draft picks.
He also said Brittany Griner shouldn't think about coming back to the United States.
He did say that. He
Who
did
did?
say that. He
LeBron
put his
said
foot
that?
in his mouth. He put his
Yeah.
foot in his mouth. He put
What
his foot in his
But
mouth.
sometimes he screws up. He's a great
did he-
guy.
Sometimes
We
he
know
does.
the
He does.
Sometimes
He does.
says things out.
He screwed up on the kid that the Kyle kid that shot
Rittenhouse.
Kyle Rittenhouse thing. He screwed up
Yep,
on that
yep.
too, and
Well,
you
he
can
said,
tell.
Well, he said the fake crocodile tears, which we all
Yeah.
know were fake
You-
crocodile tears.
Fake as
you
hell.
but you can tell it was like he didn't know the situation though.
Yeah,
He
yeah.
thought
He spoke on
All
it.
right,
He spoke
guys.
He
on
thought it
and
was a
didn't know.
racist thing.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump off the NBA train and we're going to move on to the huddle. That's what Josie wants to talk about. Got some XFL
feel like
news
that was-
going down.
That was
And
really productive, guys. I feel like it.
yes, very productive in the
Cheers.
NBA.
Hey,
All right,
yeah,
let's
but
move.
you know,
This is therapy for Gene and Dan because they just argue
It is.
for an hour and then they
I'm
get
telling
done, they
you.
feel better.
Me and Gene's friendship is just moving to a whole different level of.
I think we
Yeah.
have. I think outside of Will, I think me and you have the second best friendship in this.
It is.
in
It's
this group.
very
you
strong.
know?
No,
I like Josie. I like Seven, but it's something
It's-
about Dan. I got to get to Nebraska.
See, yes, it's a potential. This
Yeah.
is just the potential.
Y'all
Just
going
take
to
care
the,
of me when I get
and
there.
as soon as you get there, y'all going to Walmart. All right, let's go ahead and move on. Let's go ahead and move on to the huddle, guys. Let's
And I
go.
walk.
XFL was in the news today with some cities that's been announced. Josie, you want to take over?
Yeah, they finished their showcases. They've done several showcases in Hawaii. They did one with Coach Prime
Mhm.
in Jackson, or at Jackson State. They just did one in Dallas. They did one in Orlando. But after that, last night they did a town hall in Dallas and announced all their teams and put the coaches with their teams finally. So the big news out of that is Texas is getting 3 teams.
Yep, 3.
Arlington, Houston, San Antonio. Coaches, this is what I did like, though. Every coach is kind of connected to their community in some way. Bob Stutz is back with Arlington. Will, the only guy returning from 2.0, is back with Dallas. You got Wade Phillips going back to Houston.
Yep.
Orlando, Terrell Buckley. Vegas with Rod
Woodson.
Woodson. San Antonio with Hines Ward, which I'm super excited for.
That's who Steph Curry wife looked like.
Yes.
She
Seattle,
looked just like Hines Ward. She looked just like
Seattle
Hines
with
Ward.
Jim Haslett. St. Louis with Anthony Becht. And Washington, D.C. with Reggie Barlow.
I love Rod Woodson. He's my favorite football player. Love Rod Woodson.
I thought it was interesting, and this speaks to the fan base of St. Louis. I was reading this today. The traffic for season tickets for the St. Louis XFL team was so heavy, there was a wait list to put a deposit down on season tickets.
They went nuts in 2.0. When Vince brought it back, they were selling out every game. They were a huge fan base. I've already been thinking about going to see one of the Texas teams when they play there.
And just to let you guys know, The whole XFL is the whole reason why we're here.
Yeah, that's how this all got started.
That's how all this got started.
So it's interesting. What's going to happen? The other announcement is they announced a hub, a football hub that's going to be in Arlington, based out of the Choctaw Stadium, where the Arlington team will play. So all teams will travel to their community markets for weekend games, but then they will travel back to the hub weekly during season.
Right.
And that way they will have access to doctors. They will have hotel rooms stayed. They will be catered all their meals. Right. They're partnering with 4 other high school stadiums to give every team there a practice facility. Yep. I read this today and I was like, wow, this is an interesting way to do it. I like the idea of being able to still go and see your football wherever, but having the entire operations in one city. It's kind of smart on the Rock. And
Danny Garcia.
Yeah. But the USFL, they operate out of one city. But
but they're doing all of their games in one city too.
Right, right.
You're still going to get all your games in Vegas, San Antonio. San Antonio, they're playing in the Alamo Dome. Houston, they're going back to TDEUC. Orlando's going to be in Camping World.
But they're putting a lot of resources into the XFL. I mean, when you're partnering up with Disney and ESPN.
Yeah, and they've already got a deal with NFL to be like a tester for that.
Yeah. So
somebody majored in economics in that front office.
Well,
Danny is
Danny is a business genius.
Yeah, she really is. She really is. She got The Rock, one of his biggest deals.
I mean,
Rock wouldn't be who he.
The Rock
he
would
is
not. I think I've told this story on here before, but the day they signed their divorce papers was also the day she signed him the contract for the Scorpion King.
Well, the key is look at the coaches that they're hiring.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's a grabber right there. The only person I think that if he wasn't coaching in college that would make a good coach in the XFL would be Deion Sanders.
And I guarantee you The Rock went to him. I guarantee you.
I believe he probably did and said, look, what can I give you to but he's all about the kids and he's all about the HBCU at this point.
Right.
So.
Well, and at the one they did at the HBCU, Prime was right there. Like they were
Prime plus Prime is trying to fend off from having to play Alabama right now. So I thought that was interesting too.
Well, I think he took some shots at Nick Saban.
He did.
You know?
And I think it's interesting too because we're going up to this whole college players getting paid type of deal, and we see these coaches, and we see all these coaches talk all this trash. We're telling something this is not what it's about. And still, Mark Richt just signed that huge deal, and now you can't. And now because these deals is going on for the kids, you just can't say, "Let me give you this scooter. Let me give you this car on the back end." Now these kids can market themselves, and all these coaches seem to have a problem with it.
Here's the thing, and Dan and I talked about with the NIL stuff, and like Kirby Smart's comments, I think is like kind of what you guys are kind of referencing around. And Kirby Smart made a valid point. I'm not justifying everything that's gone on or saying these kids shouldn't be getting paid. They should, but the way that it's happening needs to change because you've got these boosters and donors, whoever, that are giving these kids $1 million offers for NIL stuff. They don't even have to go to that school, or maybe they didn't want to go to that school. That school didn't want them. That school wasn't trying to actively recruit them. And now you've got you've got boosters making roster decisions trying to make roster decisions. It should go through the head of the athletic department. There should be an office that handles it, and it's all based on being a part of that program. And then, of course, absolutely, there should be salary caps. They're just what they're talking about is this needs to be regulated because right now it's the wild fucking west when it comes to NIL deals.
Well, it does. Yeah, it does need to be regulated, and every player is not getting an NIL deal. Let's make that clear. But when you look at when you look at Power 5 schools, when you're looking at Power Fives like Ohio State, when you generated $300 million in a season, and it's been off the backs of these running backs that come. See, this goes a lot deeper than just putting a
Quarterbacks
restriction on
too,
the money
Gene.
and the quarterbacks. This has to do with the journey, and what I mean by the journey is it has to do with some of these kids come from very, very, very humble situations, and they've been busting their ass all through high school, all through before high school, and then they get to college, and these guys are carrying teams, and all they get is a bag of ramen noodles. Come on, you got to pay these guys.
Right.
I'm not against the NIL. I am for putting a limit on it. I don't think a guy that's 17 should be getting $9 million. And I think they should limit it to sponsorships, like maybe one sponsorship, maybe two per kid. People will argue that like they should get whatever.
Some type of regulation. Some
But
type
they
of
have to
regulation.
put some type of regulation on it.
Right.
And that doesn't fare well over the team. If we got 4 guys on the team that's getting, these multi-million-dollar deals, and then you got these other guys busting their ass, mostly linemen, you know what I'm saying, who carry the game. Everything happens up front, and these guys aren't getting their just due. I think you have some animosity there, but also, I think some kids, if they don't make it to the NFL, because not everybody's built for the NFL, but if I got $9 million in college, I did what I was supposed to do.
Did what you were supposed to do. You got your $9 million and you graduate.
And you graduated, you got your degree. So I think it works out. But I do agree with you, Sevens. There has to be a regulation.
It needs to be regulated some type of way to where it doesn't ruin the kid.
Yeah.
But Gene, is that difference in pay any different than the NFL though? I mean, because the guys in the NFL, the offensive linemen don't get paid as much as skill players. You know what I'm saying?
No. You seeing the difference here when you see an offensive and defensive lineman. What's our guy with the Rams?
Aaron Donald.
Getting paid more than half the receivers in the league.
He's an outlier, though. He's an outlier.
And don't forget Trent Williams got a boat full of money.
But they still don't get like decent wide receiver money though.
It's
they don't get quarterback money. Nobody gets quarterback money.
Well,
actually. Well, nobody in
the history has gotten Deshaun Watson money.
Nope.
Nobody's got a fully guaranteed.
Lamar about to get it though.
But when we talk about, when we go back to contracts, we got to talk about.
It would be a very bad decision for Lamar.
We got to talk about guaranteed money. When a rookie came in the NFL, he had a 3-year deal with a 1-year option, right? And they stuck to it. And the signing bonus was probably only like $10 million. You know what I mean? So what changed is the guaranteed money.
Right.
Because guys aren't lasting that long in the league. And that's why the NL deals are so big, because you're one injury away from never seeing the field again. You're one injury away from carrying your own child. So there's got to be some compensation there. In the NFL, there's so many incentives in their contracts. A guy could play up to a potentially big contract, but if he doesn't produce, then he's only going to get this. So the NFL does play a little cat and mouse game that makes a player definitely have to go out there and play at a high level in order to reach that top dollar.
Right.
Most of the guys in the league, but the Tom Brady's, those guys, they get their money up front. They don't care. They just throwing them the money. They prove their point. So at the end of the day, that's the difference with the kids in college. And but I think they deserve it. Just knowing, because I come from coaching and I come from seeing kids a lot and seeing their humble beginnings. So I think a lot of them deserve it if they're going to be carrying the load. If you're going to be carrying the load, because what we don't see is when they get 40 and they're not playing no more and they can barely get up out of bed.
Gene, lastly on the subject from me, any of this is so much better than where that money was going, because exactly where that money was going before. All this money was there before, okay? All this booster money and all this revenue money and all this TV money was there, and you know where it was going? It was going right to those executives,
right to the school,
right to those school
executives. Yep.
Fuck those guys. Those guys aren't doing shit. Yep. So they were just sitting back raking all these bonuses, and nobody was saying anything. Right. So anywhere this money goes is better than where it was going.
Absolutely.
Let me switch gears again real quick. Kyler Murray, he just signed his new deal. What do you guys think about that? Let me go to 7 on that, because 7's gonna be real vocal. Let me go to 7 on that. What do you think about that Kyler Murray deal?
Here's the thing. Arizona didn't have. I mean, just so you mentioned it earlier. Arizona didn't really have a choice when it comes to this. Now, one of the things that I kind of wanted to talk to you guys about, and I think Dan and I may dive into this a little bit more in our show after dark. But they were talking today about with his deal, he has to spend 4 hours a week of independent study time watching game film.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that's a product of them believing he wasn't doing it before? Or do you think this is just something that we're going to start seeing with new contracts, because these tablets that they get with all the game film, they have a way of tracking that. And so now they're going to start holding these players accountable so that they don't have issues with players watching film. Is it a Kyler Murray issue, or is this something that's going to be more common?
No, I think they did that with the biggest bust in Raiders.
They tried to do it with Jamarcus.
They tried to do it with Jamarcus. They said, go home and read the playbook. He came back and said, did you read the playbook? He's like, yeah. They was like, no, you didn't, because there was nothing on
the tape. They gave him
blank tape
for Jamarcus.
Yeah.
But as far as Kyler Murray is concerned, does he freelance a little bit out there? Absolutely. You know, he makes his living off of broken routes and extending plays and not sticking to the script, you know.
Right.
And he'll come up with some kind of miracle throw, but he's athletic enough and fast enough. He's super fast. I mean, who at the quarterback position, who's faster than this guy?
He's the fastest quarterback in the NFL right now.
Yeah, bar none. Yeah. So he can change
the quickest.
He changed the complexity of the defenses. So yes, does he play outside the box, and is that why that they were balking on him about this contract money? Yeah, they said this guy doesn't even fucking read the plays.
Yeah,
you know. So with this contract, I'm sure they wrote it in there. We giving you this money, you got to take this playbook home, and you have.
Now let me ask you this: between that contract, between what we saw from Deshaun Watson, where does that leave Lamar Jackson?
I think Lamar Jackson should be the next highest. I think Lamar Jackson
got MVP,
because somebody's going to argue with this when I say this.
Yep.
I'm waiting.
Go ahead.
I think Lamar Jackson should be paid more than Deshaun Watson.
No,
he is the MVP.
I don't think that's
MVP.
outrageous at all.
That's not outrageous at all. Yeah.
He's MVP.
I agree with that.
I think Lamar Jackson should be, and people get mad at this, and this is not biased. This is about production. This is about what I've seen a guy do without his star running backs, with no receivers, and he got hurt. If he'd have never got hurt last year, they'd have probably been in the playoffs. Compared to Tom Brady,
he missed 4 games last year.
Who's got every goddamn star stud that you could ever want on a team. You got AB, you got Gronk, you got.
You're talking about now?
Huh?
Now he does, but he didn't used to.
Well, no. Well, no.
6.
He had mediocre. Wes Welkers and
Danny Amendola. Shout out to Danny. He just retired.
Yeah,
Shout out to him.
But
his contract wasn't that big.
You remember Danny Woodhead? Oh my goodness!
Here's my thing.
The pride of Shadron, Nebraska.
There's the next 3 quarterbacks that are going to get paid are Lamar, Burrow, and Justin Herbert. And realistically, I think Lamar will get the highest contract out of the 3, followed by Herbert and then Burrow. As much as I would like to see it the other way around, I think LA pays Herbert more. Burrow deserves more, in my opinion. I think he's a better quarterback than Justin Herbert. But I think what I mentioned before.
Isn't Allen about to be up too?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's about to be up. Not next year, but that following year. Not this year. Not this year, but that following year he's up. I think it's not this year, but it's that following year that Josh Allen is up.
Buffalo's gonna give Josh Allen $500 million.
Yeah, and they should.
Yeah, they should.
I did want to say one other thing on the XFL. News came out on their contract information. Players will be paid an average of $59,000 a season, not including starting quarterbacks who will be paid above league minimum. $5,000 per week for active roster, $1,000 weekly win bonus. Regular season is 50 players, 45 active.
It's a good living.
It's good living for what you're doing
for half the year, right?
Yeah,
I mean, they're not playing the whole.
Yeah,
They go in February. It's just going to be spring ball.
So literally, it's about what, 6 months max.
Oh, it's that.
You have to go.
They're starting the week after the Super Bowl, and I think it's going to go 10 weeks.
Oh wow! So
yeah, yeah,
well over $100,000 a year.
Well over $100,000 a year,
plus incentives, plus possible incentives.
You ain't gotta go work at Walmart for nothing.
No, you could say. I mean, you could definitely budget that.
Well, and that doesn't.
you budget that.
There's definitely going to be playoff and win incentives. They don't talk about that.
Well, yeah, and
I agree with 7 too. And I agree with 7 too. I think Burrow, because he went to the Super Bowl.
Listen,
you got to give Burrow a prop for that.
He is a legend.
Well, you got to give Burrow a prop for that. That man got the Bengals to the Super Bowl.
Well, not knocking Justin Herbert. I think Justin Herbert's a great quarterback, but Joe
and
Burrow
he got burnt toast on his team, and he still went to the Super Bowl. Got to give him props on that.
Sacked 9 times in a game and still won. Justin Herbert could not do that. I'm sorry.
Listen, he tore his knee up and came back and went to the Super Bowl.
Yep.
This guy's phenomenal.
Amazing. That's amazing.
Listen,
You got to give Burrow his props.
In Cincinnati, like he's a legend.
You got to give Burrow his props, man.
He's Broadway Joe 2.0
And there's a possibility
Hollywood Joe 2.0.
And there's a possibility they can go again.
He played at Ohio State and never got a shot, right? So he transfers out of Ohio State.
LSU.
And because of the system, he's a more pro set type of system in LSU. He was a shoe-in, fit right in.
Yeah.
This guy, the potential was already there. But what people don't realize about Joe can run.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
He's very elusive. That's very
elusive.
Yep.
But he's also, and I say this all the time. I don't care if you knock it or whatever. Listen, to play the quarterback position, you have to be a thinker 75% of the time. All that other shit, the athleticism, that's an additive. Don't get it twisted. It'll get you where you need to be, and it'll get you a couple extra bucks. But guys like Joe and guys like, because Pat Mahomes, he's not what you think he is, a brainiac to me at the quarterback position.
No.
I think Derek Carr. I think Derek Carr is one of the ultimate thinkers of the game. Tom Brady. He's
game knowledge. I'll give you game knowledge. Absolutely.
Tom Brady isn't game knowledge. Listen, he has an accurate ass arm. He'll pick you apart.
And it's the same system too.
It's the same system. Now, when we talk Lamar Jackson, because he's the most underrated quarterback, Lamar is very intelligent, and they won't give him credit for that. But when we talking intelligence, that's what gets you paid. That's what makes you a great quarterback. And that damn Joe Burrow, like I said, he's the top of my list. I love that guy. He's so cool, and he's changing the culture of the NFL as we speak right now.
I just think in Lamar's case, they need some receivers out that way. Because you just can't expect to win with Mark Andrews and trash.
Absolutely.
You got to get some receivers out that way.
Lamar's a stud.
Lamar is there is a lot of talent potential, but the problem is you're quietly seeing Baltimore do what so many other teams have done with a solid quarterback and not putting the right talent out there so you can see the actual success of what they can do. Lamar is not my favorite quarterback. I've said multiple times there are a lot of quarterbacks that I would put in the league ahead of Lamar Jackson. At least 10. Yeah, we've talked about this.
At least 10.
Yeah, there's 10.
There's 10.
That's a debate. That's a huge debate.
Josie, I'm not going to go there.
I'll list them.
But
speak your piece.
But he does deserve to get paid, and I think that he has the ability to earn a higher ranking if you put the talent around him to allow him to perform.
I just think that comes down with getting another offensive coordinator, because right now all he thinks about is running the football. Maybe hit a play action pass every now and again. You got to rethink that, man, because this is a passing league.
This is a passing league.
Absolutely.
This league this year, the receivers is going to be the most intricate part of football.
Yep.
There's a lot of great receivers. There's a lot of great receivers. Go ahead, Josie. But I'm going to just say this. If you think Dak Prescott is better than Lamar Jackson.
Oh, hell no.
Money-wise, they say he is.
Money-wise, he said he was the best. Money-wise, he said he was the best. That's ridiculous.
That's crazy.
It's crazy.
Dak Prescott caught Jerry Jones after he got done visiting Robert Kraft massage therapist. That's exactly what happened.
Well, I think
sorry.
Well, no, I think Romo cheated on him.
Ah,
because that was his bitch.
it was.
Two things, Gene. Number one, do you know where Joe Burrow originally committed out of high school? And they
It was a smaller school.
It was a smaller school in Nebraska, a smaller school.
It was Nebraska. He originally wanted to go to Nebraska. His dad was a starting wide receiver at Nebraska in the 70s. So there's a fun fact for you. So Joe Burrow wanted to go to Nebraska. Anyway, the Lamar Jackson thing. Lamar, you're right that he's intelligent. I think all he does though is he doesn't use that intelligence for long enough on the field because he knows how athletic he is. And as soon as he can bounce, dude, I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why you think like that. I'm gonna explain to you why you think like that. Let me tell you. Because it happens?
No, because defensively, when you play Lamar Jackson defensively, you're already spying on him. You're going to keep a spy on this guy. Yep. So he has to be able to know that at some point, because they're trying to keep him in the pocket, they're trying to keep him to make throws because they say that's the weakest part of his game. They said he can't throw the ball, right? At an accurate level.
Accurate clip.
Right. But what Lamar does is so sensational. That's so sensational. The way he moves back there, it throws the defense off, and he's able to get around certain things. And I'm not saying that takes a lot of intelligence, but when you know where your receiver's going to be, when you know timing, when you know defenses, he knows how to read defenses. For me, as a quarterback, you got to know how to read defenses. You can't be out there. You can't be out there like Baker Mayfield. You know, that don't know shit.
Plus, he's getting around. Plus, he's getting around a lot of guys. Plus, he's getting around a lot of 8-man fronts. So when you're playing a lot of 8-man fronts, you got guys around your legs. You got guys all over you in that pocket.
Well, they're loading the box on him.
Yeah, they load the box.
They load the box on him.
Because what they do.
That's why Daniel thinks like that, because he's not under. I want to say he doesn't understand that when you play Lamar Jackson, this guy is under duress the whole game, and the production that he has is so phenomenal.
He's always got defenders around him. Always got defenders around him.
I'm going to throw this out here, and I'm going to say it like when it comes to Lamar Jackson, in kind of what Dan's seeing, what I'm seeing too, and hopefully, the problem with Lamar Jackson is he is breaking the play down himself too early, too often. It's the same thing that Kansas City has been trying to work out of Patrick Mahomes.
Yes.
There is so much raw talent there and so much knowledge. But
again, how much does it? But again, Seven, let me ask you this: How does that? How he has no receivers? I mean,
Lamar is thinking past.
If you double
past the play,
he's overthinking the play.
If you double Mark Andrews, who is he gonna throw to? Hollywood Brown is gone.
Sammy Watkins.
Yeah, exactly.
So I got a better chance of.
It hurts him. The offense he plays in hurts him because
and that's why I say that there needs to be a level of talent. There needs to be an increase in the talent for who he has to work with.
And the scheme has to change. I think the scheme has to change a little bit too.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, because if you go back and look at history, they did Mike Vick the same way.
If you want to
go back and look at history, Mike Vick the same way.
Will on the subject of history,
almost the same way.
Lamar Jackson has been
Crumpler. With Finneran and Crumpler, he was a little bit better at receiver wise. But go back.
Lamar Jackson has been incredibly bad historically in the playoffs. 4 games.
Okay,
he has been historically bad. So if you want to look past, I think that's a huge thing for them. I think that's why they're hesitant to pay him. I think that's the only reason. I think that talent-wise and the way that he's produced, I don't think is the issue. I think that they think that he chokes in the playoffs at this point, which by all means is actually what's happening. He has choked in the playoffs. That doesn't mean he's ever going to choke in the playoffs.
He comes in with a mind.
He's been historically bad in the playoffs.
But how
many times has he took him to the playoff, Dan?
But every playoff game he plays, he's at a disadvantage. It's like he's got half a team.
At some point, if you're elite, if you're a top 10 quarterback, at some point you got to win a playoff game, despite of the fact that you might be overmatched.
We're gonna see what Aaron Rodgers do without Devontae Adams.
Lamar Jackson.
He already has
4 total playoff games. Okay, let's talk about percentage. He is a astounding 55% completion rating. He
That's over half.
averages 300 yards a game.
Woo.
Total
300 total yards a game, 225 looks like 225 yards passing, a touchdown.
What's TD interception?
TD at 2.2 to 1.7.
That's not good.
It's not good.
It's not good.
What's the last stat? What was the last stat? I didn't hear that one.
So touchdowns to interceptions, an average per game in the playoffs, 2.2 to 1.7 for touchdown to interception. That's the problem with Lamar Jackson in the playoffs. But if you can increase the talent around him, you can start to
That's what I'm saying.
That's why I'm saying. That's why I say
I don't think
there are two things here. There are two animals here: the talent, and he needs to stop breaking the play down so early. This is the same problem that Kansas City had with Patrick Mahomes.
He needs to stop.
That's what we're saying.
He needs to stop forcing it.
Exactly.
And I watched him force it, and I've watched him play at that level. But
let me ask you a question. Would you guys? Let me ask you guys, and I'm gonna go back to fantasy for a second. Would you guys draft him on your team?
It depends on who's available.
I've had him
backup.
I had him the last 2 years. Last year he didn't do so high, and he got hurt.
Yeah.
But the year before he was the breakthrough guy. 2 years ago he was that guy. Yeah,
he's not a real great fantasy quarterback only because his statistics don't show up.
Like
his production doesn't. Well, and his production doesn't show up a whole lot in the stat sheet. I know that sounds weird because
I got more out of Mitch Trubisky last year.
Absolutely,
exactly.
Especially if you have a PPC league, you're gonna get more because he doesn't throw the ball. He doesn't throw the ball 50 times a game. They're not having him throw the ball 50 times a game. So
you got PPR league,
PPR.
PPR league,
or
and
PPC.
That's the thing is because in the playoffs he only averages in the playoffs he averaged about 45 attempts a game. But 45 attempts, 56% completion rating, averaging 300 yards. That's not great. The talent for who he is and where
he's forced to throw more. He was forced to throw more. 7. I'm gonna give you
right.
But he was forced to throw more because when you lose a guy like J.K. Dobbins and the rest of those guys back there,
you
didn't have a real choice, and you had to get the pick of the litter at what was left, right?
Right.
So this year, coming in as a healthy Lamar, I'm gonna say this. I think you see, because I'm gonna tell you who else blows games, and they blow big games, and they've blown big games, and it's Josh Allen. He doesn't play well in the big game. He's great in the regular season. But when it comes to the big game, he blows it. And if he wouldn't have got Stephon Diggs, he wouldn't have got nowhere close to where he's been the last couple of years as far as production. When he got that receiver, they got a steal when they got Diggs. And so when we compare those
quick question, hold on. Have you actually watched Josh Allen play, or are you just listening to Skip Bayless? That's my question. Because I watch Bills games. Because I love Josh Allen, and he is a talented motherfucker.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying he isn't talented, but I'm not going to sit here and agree. He has bad big games.
What are you talking about?
Look at every one of his big games. Just look.
I really? When you look at his loss to the Chiefs in the playoffs, that was the best football game of the year.
I will give him this. He balled that last game against KC.
13 seconds, and he still lost it by no fault of his own. It is not Josh Allen. It is not Josh Allen. It's that fucking
No, it's not Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs is not.
Come on.
Is the reason why this guy's got over a little bit of a hump. Have the Bills won?
Fucking blasphemy, man.
Have the Bills been in the Super Bowl with Josh Allen?
Damn.
Have the Bills? Huh?
Have the Ravens?
He's won more playoff games than Lamar Jackson.
Absolutely, by a lot.
I mean,
he's won more playoff games than Lamar Jackson.
He's won more playoff games than Lamar Jackson?
Absolutely.
Yes. Go look at the stats.
Yes,
Lamar Jackson doesn't have a playoff win, bro. He hasn't won one.
Tim Tebow has more playoff wins than Lamar Jackson.
Lamar Jackson is 0-4 in the playoffs.
Fucking Tebow.
Mark Sanchez got more
playoffs.
And Mark Sanchez got more.
Baker Mayfield, huh?
Baker Mayfield.
And Mark Sanchez got more than both.
Come on. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Lamar isn't talented, but what I'm saying is he has bad habits that need to be broken along with filling the talent around him. I'm not denying that that's an issue. It needs to be addressed. But if he doesn't stop
Lamar has
the
one
play
win
down early,
he
does have one win. I'm sorry. Okay. So
just
he's
think
tied
that-
with Tim Tebow and Dak Prescott. There we
I
go.
just think that Buffalo needs a better running game too.
Oh, they
Because
do.
he pretty much is their running game.
Honestly, I think I'm going to throw something crazy out here. I think Kareem Hunt in that offense would be a godsend for Josh Allen.
If they can pick him up, I don't think Cleveland will let him go.
You could get him on the cheap. I really think you could because they got Nick Chubb. They're so bought in on Nick Chubb. You could get Kareem Hunt cheaper than you think if you're Buffalo.
You could. They don't feel like they need Kareem Hunt. He's an afterthought.
I don't think.
And part of that's because John Dorsey brought him on after that whole issue when he got released from Kansas City. But
yeah, he brought him in just to help the guy out because he's
right. And he's earned his way back into a starting job, is what I'm saying, with how well he performs. Yep. So that's why I think he would be a good piece for Buffalo.
But he probably would. He's not a between the tackles type of running back.
He was an outside guy.
Well, he can catch the ball. You know,
he's more of an outside guy in a pass catcher.
Right.
But,
and
so how many playoff games has Josh Allen won?
2.
I believe 2.
3.
Yeah. I believe it's 2.
Haven't they won a Super Bowl?
No. But neither has Lamar Jackson.
Lamar hasn't won a Super Bowl yet.
Has Prescott won a Super Bowl?
Hell no. And I hope he never wins one. I hope he never wins one.
Josh Allen is clearly a better quarterback than Lamar.
Josh Allen has 3 playoff wins.
Fuck Dallas.
Just so that we're clear.
Fuck Dallas. Fuck them.
You said how many wins?
3.
3.
Who does Josh Allen?
Yeah.
He has 3 playoff wins.
And 4 less years.
2000. His first playoff appearance was in 2020 in the AFC wild card. He did not win that game. He won 2 games in 2021 against Indy and against Indy and wait. 2000. Hey, quick question. Hold on. In 2021, in January of 2021, who was the quarterback of the Baltimore Ravens? Wasn't that Lamar Jackson?
And what year?
That lost to Josh Allen in 2021?
Yeah.
That was the same Lamar Jackson that you're stroking over here, right?
Yeah.
The same guy? Okay, just making sure.
Same guy.
And then
I just think if you give Lamar Jackson a Stephon Diggs, if you give Lamar Jackson somebody like that, I just think
Josh didn't win until he got Stephon Diggs.
More. I just think he would win more. He has no one to throw to.
He ain't got nobody to throw to. But I'm not even gonna say that. No.
I mean look at Mark Andrews is great. He'll throw the ball up to Mark. Hey, I know he got this somewhere. Well, I'm gonna throw it up. But come on.
I'm not gonna say it's 11:30, but I'm not gonna say. Listen, they gave Josh Allen tools, man, and this Stephon Diggs, he did not produce until he got this Stephon Diggs, and that is the key to this whole deal here.
In ending, Gene. Last thing. Tom Brady. Tom Brady. What did it say?
The Packers ain't doing shit either. No, they're not.
What do you want to say about Tom Brady? What do you want to say about the GOAT? What do you want to say about the GOAT?
Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, Aaron Rodgers, Josh Allen, Justin Herbert, Joe Burrow, Russell Wilson, Matthew Stafford, and Derek Carr. There's 9 quarterbacks that are better than Lamar Jackson.
Did Russell Wilson? What has Russell Wilson done? What has he done?
Won
2 Super Bowls. Won 2 Super Bowls. One
Super Bowl went to another.
One Super Bowl showed up at another, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. What has
he didn't have to have a ticket like Lamar Jackson does?
What has Justin Herbert done?
Justin Herbert is cerebral, bro.
What the hell has that got to do with?
Watch Justin Herbert play.
I watched him play. He's in our division.
He's one of the most accurate pocket passers, and he can run.
He's in our division.
I get what Gene is saying. I get what Gene is saying because Lamar is an MVP. Herbert hadn't earned that respect yet.
No, and that's why I was saying earlier, Burrow deserves to get paid more, but the Chargers will end up paying Herbert more. I guarantee it.
Listen,
and it's because of and I'm speaking with experience on the
we beat Herbert last year in the playoffs, so we figured him out.
Okay? It's gonna be fun. It's gonna be fun to see you two go.
Lamar has been an MVP in the NFL. All them guys you say, except Russell, you got to give Russell his credit. You know, they had a lackadaisical defense. He's carried that team for a number of years now.
Yeah.
Giving up 40 points a game. You know, so but when we talk about these other guys, I think it's just biased bullshit.
All right.
So
All
he-
right.
Justin
Let's
Herbert-
go real quick. Go ahead. Finish your thought.
Yeah, Justin Herbert ain't done nothing. What has he done?
He passed
All right.
for 5,000.
All right, guys. Let's go ahead.
So is
real
Derek
quick.
Carr.
All right, real quick. Let's move into our
I
Dick
said
of the
Derek
Week.
Carr.
Let's move to our Dick of the Week, and we'll get on out of here. Let's go.
I'm
All right,
glad.
then.
I'm glad we ended that last part on my Dick of the Week. Gene actually called my Dick of the Week on the last thing that he said. My Dick of the Week is Derek Carr, and it's because did you hear the quote? He said nobody. He's always on this fucking shit about how nobody is. Well, nobody pays attention to the Las Vegas Raiders. Nobody pays attention to us. Why would they pay attention to you, Derek Carr? At this point, honestly, what have you done to make anybody pay attention to you?
Well, he's had an MVP year. The year he was going to go is 2016, I believe. He broke his ankle. That was his MVP year. They were going in the playoffs. They lost that playoff game due to him not playing.
He's in the best division in football. He's in the best division in football.
Well, I won't say that. I'll say this. Derek.
Oh, say that.
Wait a minute. Wait. Derek is very consistent. Okay. He's a stats guy.
Yeah,
And-
consistently not winning in the playoffs. We know.
Well, you got to remember but they haven't been to the playoffs. They've been to the playoffs last year. And that game last year was due to a blown call. Okay, let's call it what it is. In the game of football, the game starts and stops at the whistle. Period. So if the ball's in the air and the whistle blows, that means the play is dead. That should have been called back. But it's just neither here nor there because, you know, nobody wants to acknowledge that. The ref made a mistake, okay?
Gene,
The referee made a mistake.
Refs
But
make
Gene,
mistakes.
if that's not the Gene, if that's not the best division of football, what is?
What division? The West?
The AFC West.
Well,
The
AFC
AFC
West. If that's not the best division,
Well-
what is?
Well, I'm gonna tell you. Listen, what the championship has been through the AFC West.
It's the best division.
It's the best division of
That's
football.
why I'm
That's
saying,
what
like,
we're saying.
football.
Pound for
I'm-
pound.
I'm calling Derek Carr a dick
Pound for
because
pound.
he's saying like nobody's
didn't
paying
see-
attention to us.
You don't
Because
see the
why would
improvement?
anybody pay attention to you?
They might
Like,
pay
you're-
attention to you.
Are you
now.
gonna win? Are you gonna win that division, Derek Carr? Is that
No.
what you're saying? Exactly. Why would we pay attention to you?
We don't know. We don't know that yet. I think the Chargers have a better shot of giving us a problem than the Kansas City at this point. Pat Mahomes
That's
and
interesting.
Juju
That's
Schuster.
interesting.
That's not a good combination.
That's
And-
interesting.
And they didn't bolster up their defense like they were supposed to. They got a couple pieces there. Pat
That's
Mahomes
interesting.
is on his downside,
We're gonna have to do
whether you believe this or not. He's on his downside, and
He's
this-
25 years old.
That's
yeah.
interesting.
And when you got Miles on you
James?
like Pat Mahomes has, the hits that
Oh,
he's
no.
taken, he's been getting banged up here a little bit. We'll beat the Kansas City Chiefs twice this year.
No, you
I
won't.
have no
you
doubt in
won't.
my
No,
mind.
you won't.
I have no doubt in my
You,
mind.
oh,
Can we
really?
clip
You're going to
that?
say that?
Can we
You're going to
clip
say
that?
that? You haven't even beat the Kansas City Chiefs in your new stadium yet.
At
you're
best,
gonna
you
say
can hope.
you're gonna get a
At
sweep?
best, you can. At best, you
No,
can hope
we
for us to
beat 'em.
split.
Oh, we beat them. We split. We beat them.
That's the best you
We
can
beat-
hope for us to
We
On
beat
the
split.
Kansas
road-
City.
On the
we
road to
beat-
7-10.
I mean, Seven.
beat-
He just
we-
said
we
he
beat
just said the
Kansas City.
Chargers were a better
Hold on.
team.
We
What?
beat Kansas City
This
on-
is why we
on
need drug tests
primetime
for
TV.
pinfall.
Okay. In the home opener. Don't forget that. So listen. So at the end of the day, listen, guys. I know you want to say that Derek Carr is the worst quarterback in the AFC West, and the problem
Yeah,
is
He is.
I think a lot of guys are upset because of what we've acquired and what we've done over the last 3 years. We've constantly got better. We made it to the playoffs. Okay.
The highest player conviction rating in Clark County history.
Oh
No, actually,
snap.
it's out of it's actually out of Cuyahoga County.
Oh, excuse me.
Yeah, it's out of Cuyahoga County, Ohio. The Browns and Miami.
man.
The Browns and the Miami Dolphins are well above us in the rest. So at the end of the day, we're the most money-making franchise in the league right now.
No, you're not. That's the Cowboys.
No, it's not.
The Cowboys are
But
always the
it's
highest grossing team in the league.
Where
The
are
Raiders
the
are the
most
highest
moneymaker? What
grossing.
jersey? Is
The
selling
Raiders are
the-
the highest grossing. Go
What
look it up.
jersey is selling?
Next
to back
week,
that
I'm
up,
going to
though,
make up a
Gene?
whole bunch of stats. Like
No,
Gene
don't-
does.
What jersey is selling to make that up, Gene? I mean, I understand you got Devontae Adams on your team. That might be it, but
What do you mean?
you said
We-
that
Most
the-
Raiders fans can't afford to spend money on NFL gear.
We're a playoff team. We're a playoff team.
I'll
playoff
agree with. I mean, maybe you're gonna have to get.
what?
through-
You ain't selling no. You what? Josh Jacobs selling all them jerseys?
We're a playoff team. No, Derek Carr.
All right,
is actually.
come on.
Derek Carr is actually.
I'm just trying to figure that out. Okay,
Yeah.
but you got your dig of the week out. Seven. Who's your dig of the week?
Gene.
Yes, that was my honorable mention.
My dig of the real quick. My dig of the week is Kirby Smart and Nick Saban. Fuck you.
Yeah.
Fuck both of y'all.
That's fair.
Fuck both of y'all. These kids deserve that money. These kids deserve that money. Govern it, but it deserve the money. Go ahead, G.
Are you guys upset that the Raiders are a better team? I think you guys are upset. This is.
I want to know how you're passing the drug tests. That's my question.
Who?
Listen,
The Raiders are better than
Listen.
who?
the Raiders are.
I'm trying to figure out who they better than. Just in that division, who are they better than?
Who are we better than in that division?
Broncos. The
Yeah.
Broncos. I'd say they're a better team than the Broncos.
When we
A better
when
team
we-
than the Broncos. Yeah,
What-
I'll give you
what-
that. You guys
what-
are still getting a wild card slot. That last wild card slot.
Well, hold on. I'm not even saying that because
You're
the
too
Broncos.
confident about Kansas City.
The Broncos
It's
still have a
falling
good
apart.
defense. The
Kansas
Broncos
City
still have
is
a
falling
good,
apart.
but the Broncos still have a good defense.
The
Broncos
title
still
doesn't go through.
The Broncos still got good running backs.
Yeah,
the
that's
title
Russell
doesn't
Wilson, but
go
I'm not
through
necessarily saying it's gonna be
KC
bad.
anymore. It doesn't go through KC.
That does.
It doesn't.
That does.
It doesn't go through KC. You're done.
It does. It does.
You're peaks and valleys. You had your peak. Now you're in the valley. It's over.
KW's dick of the week is Tony Khan. I don't blame you, bro, for what he said. I don't blame you.
I think it was meant as a joke. Like,
And-
honestly, because he said he was now the longest CEO in wrestling after Vince McMahon had to retire.
Come on, man.
Like,
and William
come on,
Morgan-
that was funny. That was
Well-
fucking funny.
Pretty funny.
Well, I want to go back to William Morgan. You really think your Saints are going to do anything with Jameis Winston?
We'll be in a wild card, sir.
With
We'll
Jameis
be in a wild
Winston?
card, sir.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we'll be in
we'll be in
wild
a wild card. We'll be in a wild card.
No,
Why not?
no,
I'll
It's
see
the
Jameis
NFC.
Winston, they're wild
It's the
card team.
NFC.
no.
Yeah.
We already better
No.
than half the teams. Hey, we're better than half the teams in the NFC East. You know we're better than the Cowboys.
Y'all better
You know,
than
you know
Washington.
we're better than Philly.
you
and
better
you know
than Washington.
and you know we're better than Giants.
And you're better than Washington. You're better than a lot of teams.
And we're still going to the
You had a
wild
solid
card.
defense. You're
Going to
playing
the
with
wild card.
Jameis Winston.
Going to the wild card.
Where did y'all
It's a
finish
wild
that
card
last
team.
year?
Yeah.
Where did y'all
Well,
finish
what-
that last year?
If the Rams would have done their job,
Nope, that's just
we
like
would've won
me
the
saying
playoffs.
if
We
the
would've won the
referee
playoffs. We
would
would've
have
been
not
in the
blew the
playoffs last
whistle,
year.
if that's
We
just
were
like
in
me
the
saying,
playoffs.
Can we
last
wrap
year.
this up, Danny?
Nope.
But let's go
Nope.
wrap this up.
let's
Why
get
they
this
played
point
the
out.
game.
Let me get this point out. That's just like me saying we'd have beat the Bengals if they stick to the rules.
I agree with Gene. You can't go hypotheticals because what happens happens.
That's
So-
true. I'll give y'all that.
They win. They win. Yeah,
Derek
you
Carr-
guys are going.
We're
Right.
gonna
Yeah, I
be
think- I think
we're gonna be at least a wild card
Winston.
team.
Well, I
We're
think we
gonna be
beat
a wild
y'all.
card team.
I think we beat y'all on Monday night in the opener last year.
Y'all did.
Yeah,
But we're gonna be a wild card team this year.
you think
Because
so?
I'm not worried about Carolina. I'm not worried
Okay.
about the Falcons. I'm not
Okay.
worried about the Eagles. I'm not worried about Washington. I'm not
Uh-huh.
worried about the Giants. Half the teams in the NFC I'm not worried about. Half of them I ain't worried about.
We're
Beware
gonna-
Baker Mayfield.
we're
Now,
gonna- we're
when
gonna-
you come down to the Rams, and teams like that, okay, I'll give you that. But but Carolina, Atlanta, I ain't worried about that.
If Seattle trades for Jimmy G,
I ain't worried about that.
What would you want?
You
Tight
should
end. You don't need a tight end. They
I
need
ain't worried about
everything.
that.
They got one receiver,
He thinks you meant Jimmy Graham. 7.
no, Jimmy Garoppolo.
Garoppolo. Okay,
I ain't worried about
Yeah.
him.
Jimmy
Mr.
Graham.
Interception and Mr.
Good tight
Interception and waiting.
Jimmy Garoppolo and who else? What has he done in San Francisco?
DK Metcalf.
He only made what? 2
I know
Super
DK
Bowls?
Metcalf. That's all he got.
Yeah,
What else do
and
you
Seattle
have?
ain't got no defense.
They ain't
It's
got
no Legion
nothing.
of Boom. But
It's-
anyway, guys,
Wayne Eskridge, baby.
Oh my God.
here we go.
Oh
Here
my
we
God.
go.
It's time to
Here
move
we
on.
go.
It's time to let you two go on.
I knew that would
Anyway.
get him.
I've been on
Anyway,
here.
guys.
I've been on here too long. Derek Carr Derek Carr is going to upset each and every one of you this year.
Gene, we're partying and we're partying on. Come on, let's go to
All
After
right,
Dark.
guys, let's go ahead and get on out of here. Give these
Gene's coming
guys
to
a
the party.
chance to rest up, get ready for Sports Report After Dark. What, 7, about 10, 15 minutes?
Well,
10
I
minutes,
didn't get to name who my dick
All right,
was.
give them about 10 minutes.
Oh.
We got Sports Report After Dark
Yes,
coming up.
I forgot. I didn't get to name who my dick was.
Who's your dick of the week? You dick. Go ahead, Gene.
William Morgan,
Yes,
7, and Daniel.
yes. He gets it's a 3-way.
All
Yes,
three of
my
y'all.
second time. My second
My
time.
first
The
three-way.
moment you say anything about one of the most historic teams in the NFL,
It's dark.
it's dangerous. We got 3 Super Bowl titles.
Steelers.
okay.
I'll argue the Steelers more historic, but that's just me.
Well,
For sure.
3 Super Bowl.
There's quite a few more teams that are more
Terry
historic.
Bradshaw.
I think the
Terry Bradshaw.
Steelers are more historic.
Kansas
but
City
that's
is a
just
more
me.
historic team for the NFL.
You think
It's
they're
called the
more historic?
Lamar
We
Hunt
changed
Trophy.
rules. We
Oh,
changed
not
rules
the
in league.
bullhead cut
We
and
changed
do
the tuck
trophy?
rule. We changed the tuck rule in the league. Are you kidding me? What are you talking about?
Because
There's
Go
things
fuck
going on
yourself,
here.
Immaculate cassette.
Listen,
Brady-
we were the first organization to hire a minority and a Hispanic. Are you kidding me?
Brady clearly
And
did
now-
nothing after the
And
Tucker
now
rule.
we're another organization that
Yeah.
hired a woman as a president, a black woman. These are great strides in football, man.
That's good. Good. Do it on the field.
Great strides. We have been doing it on the field.
She
We
should
beat
start
Kansas
quarterback,
City.
probably.
We beat Kansas City a couple years ago. We beat
Yeah,
the
a couple
Browns
years
last
ago.
3 years.
You guys
beat-
haven't beat Kansas City
beat
since that
San
dumbass
Antonio.
fucking victory lap
San-
around Arrowhead.
San Antonio.
I remember that.
What is Dick's team?
I remember that.
What
I
is
don't really have an NFL team, honestly.
No, ain't
I
nothing
live
to
in
talk about
Nebraska.
this.
He ain't gonna have no NFL team.
No,
Yeah,
I
you
like.
Right,
I
but
just like to watch.
yeah, come on, let's go.
Yeah.
I got players.
All right, you guys. I want to say thank you for everybody in the chat. We had a good turnout tonight.
Yeah, it
I
was
want to say
good
thank you
turnout.
to everybody in the chat. I want to say thank you to everybody out there who listened in on YouTube, who listened on Facebook. Thank all of you guys out there, and stay tuned. In about 10 minutes, we have Sports Report After Dark coming up with 7
Gene,
and Dan.
Gene, my favorite player ever is Randy Moss.
And he was a Raider.
He was yeah, he didn't want to be a Raider, but he was.
He was a Raider.
They
All
paid
right,
him.
Good night.
guys. We'll
Good night,
get back.
folks.
Good night, everybody. I
Good
have
night,
a great
folks. He
weekend.
was a Raider.
Great weekend. Take care.
Thanks for naming a Raider. Yeah, don't drop your cigarette.
Oh
Viking.
my God.